Dynamic climbing is the only way to climb, dude. The only way to climb. If you try to force a static move on a dynamic climb, bro, what are you doing? Especially if you can do it. If you can static a dynamic climb, bro, you're fucking tall and you're not even a climber anyway. That you're just reaching for shit and grabbing things. Oh, okay, whatever. Tall people are climbers too. Shorter climbers are just way more exciting to watch because they have to do so much dynamic climbing. They're just stronger. I don't know what it is. It's just shorter climbers are just better entertainment. I'll say that. Welcome to another episode of Ride, Climb, Drink. This week we are breaking down a bunch of sick dynamic boulders. So let's begin. One of the sickest climbs I've ever done. By far, like one of my top favorite climbs I've done. It is so much fun. Where it was. This climb just had a bunch of like big moves and then 3 dynos stuffed into this boulder problem. A lot of fun. And the last dyno was a big like all or nothing move where you just like jump and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, dude, you're coming down hard. It is a V4 on some overhang and that plays a big factor with that overhang wall. Okay, so to start it off, your move, and then you're right away into the first dynamic move and probably really the only like true dynamic part of this climb that you had to do dynamically. The others are just like style preferences. So the holds are really good. Yeah, like 2 really good side pulls that you can really grip on. The footholds were like super solid, and that's like the most important thing with a dynamic move is just like having like super solid, strong feet that you can confidently push off and generate a whole bunch of momentum and power. So that was really nice, both the left and the right. Then the hold that you're jumping to is also a pretty good hold, which is really nice because you're on the overhang. So when you jump out, you're not only jumping up, but you're also like jumping backwards. And so being able to like hold on to something good and like swing out was like very important. But you know what I mean? Like if you like jump backwards and like you swing, then you're like flying back and then you slip off and then you're falling face first. Okay, so after that move, you go right away, straight away into the second dynamic move, which was probably more like a style preference of my own because it's just the way I climb. I probably could have worked in like some static movement and got like a left heel hook on that hold and really stretched out and did like a slow, boring move to the left. But dude, why? When I saw it, I was just like, dude, let me just jump to it. So the last dynamic move was for sure 100% a style preference that I just chose to do. Though I did try to go statically at first, you know, I give it a shot. If you look and notice, you have like the big finish jug at the top, but then there's like a little crimpy-ish, slopey, crimpy type of hold like right below that. And so I'm like, I ended up, okay, I'm thinking, big move to that little slopey crimpy thing before the finish. So I go for that first. But no, dude, I just couldn't get a good grip like right away. It was a big stretch for me for sure. I was like to my max and for sure did not end well. Pretty sure that's what they wanted you to do because they have that hold right there and then there's like another foothold. Immediately abandoned that beta because that hold was not the best. One feel and I'm like, no, I'm done with it. I get up there again and I'm like, okay, that hold is shit. Let me just skip it. But, so I still have that same mentality though of, okay, I'm gonna hold on to the left hand down below and then big move with my right hand up to the finish this time. I'm just gonna skip that shitty hold and then just go straight to the finish. What I did not account for was just how far that hold was. And so I do a big move out to grab that hold with my right hand and dude, I completely fucking whiff it. Dude, that hold was just like way too far from me. I don't know what I was thinking. If I barely grabbed onto that slopey, crimpy, shitty hold right before, what gave me the inclination that I was going to be able to grab that finish hold? No idea, but I went for it and dude, I completely fucking whiff it and come crashing down. Dude, that was a pretty far fall. So I'm like, enough fucking around here. Definitely don't want to go to that slopey, shitty, crimpy hold right before the finish. Skipping that, not part of the conversation. I'm going straight for the finish. Game plan. Though I can't hold on to that left bottom hold, I don't have the wingspan to just kind of span out from the left hold to the finish. I can't do that. So I have to go dynamically. Pretty good overhang. So I'm not only jumping up, but I'm jumping out. And that right foot is complete shit. It's like a slopey ass hold. When I first rolled up to the climb, you can see the black marks like all over, like people just slipping. It doesn't bode well for the confidence trying to launch off of that big hold on the right foot. And the left foot wasn't that great either. And so I'm looking at this move, and it's a big long jump too, and you're at the top of the wall, which makes it like the reason why it's like one of my favorite climbs is because you have this big dynamic move at the top of the wall, which is like all or nothing. Falling from like 3 feet and falling from like 9 feet is a big difference. The stakes are high on this move. Dude, let's just fucking get it. Dude, full extension with that, man. Dude, look at the launch, bro. It was just like such a big move for me. This angle right here, dude, this angle right here is what I'm talking about. Like if I don't fucking grip that final hold and I slip, my body is just like horizontal. And dude, I'm flailing to the ground, landing on something weird. You better fucking hold on to that hold or you're coming down hard. So stoked to land that one. It was just like so much fun because the stakes were so high. Because no one wants to come fucking falling down, dude. Your heart's pounding, you're just a little nervous, but the adrenaline is what makes it so much fun. But yeah, that's one of my favorite climbs I've ever done. Dude, I felt like an Olympic climber with this climb, bro. The human flag type of move, I've never done that before. This is the first time I've had a boulder where I jump out and do that human flag type of move. So dope, so cool. So the left hand is like on this volume that you eventually turn into a press whenever you do that jump. On the right hand, you jump into like a crimpy type of move on that underclink of the volume. It's just so much fun because you're jumping up, but the way the overhang is, you're also jumping out. And so you really gotta fucking know that crimp on the undercling and your momentum's pulling you out and you're just like holding on with that crimp, and it's a lot of fun. Oh man, you could tell by the look on my face, dude, I was struggling. I gotta work on that core, bro. The rest of the boulder is pretty fun too. Swap out from that awkward shoulder move, reach up to kind of like a sloper move, and then you swing out to this other volume, and dude, oh man, it was just embarrassing, just like missing that the first time. It kills me that I didn't get it on the first take. But you swing over to the other volume, really lean back into that sloper, get as much friction as you can, and then bump up to the right, and then since you're there, might as well just bump up with the right hand again to the finish, which is the top of the wall. But a lot of fun. I don't even know what you call that move, that human flag type of move. There's probably a better name for it. But it was so cool, so much fun. The thing about me, bro, is I will always add style points wherever I can. Some flair, some sparkle, some razzle dazzle. Give the people what they want. A little flamboyancy. Is that a word? If someone's flamboyant, but it's not flamboyancy. I don't think flamboyancy is a word. It should be, right? How would you say that? Flamboyant? Flamboyantus? This is one of those boulders where the dynamic move is like a foot, 2 feet off the ground. So the stakes aren't as high. You could jump as many times as you want and you're not falling far. It's a pretty good amount of distance as well from the volume to where that hold is. Though I'm just like, why not do a 360, dude? The problem with that though is once you land it, you just have like way too much momentum and you're just like swinging all over the place. But if you don't control that swing, it's just like so bad because that left hand is not the greatest. It's kind of like slopey, and if you have way too much momentum and you're swinging around, you're just gonna slip off. Pop up with the right heel hook, use some momentum to get up to that undercling, and then left hand finish. Then it's just a couple of foot moves to secure the top. A lot of fun though. I mean, when is jumping to a hold not fun? Really, honestly. This is exactly what happens when you masturbate too much. Be careful. No, it comes from this. This was a sick ass paddle dyno comp set boulder that I wanted so freaking bad, dude. It just looked so freaking cool. The wall was just so awkward because you start off low right and the wall goes immediately deep overhang. Maybe not deep, but decent. And then that left volume is just like kind of like far out. And so like my starting position, I just don't think I ever got a good starting position. That first hold, nothing to grip on there. It's just flat. Then you jump out to the hidden hold, kind of from that angle, from the start. You can't see it, but you know where you're jumping to, basically. There's nothing on top of that hold. It's just flat. It's just completely flat. So what happens is if you're jumping too far out to make up for the angle and the distance that you have to go, you just really have to fucking hold on to that hold because you're just like flying off. You're slipping. There's nothing to grip onto. You're just relying on straight friction. And that's where the flapper comes from. Dude, I just threw myself at this. Attempt after attempt after attempt. So after reviewing the tape though, I think one of my biggest problems was I just had too much momentum. Way too much. I was just shooting myself too far to the left and out, so I just couldn't grip that landing hold where you finish with the dyno, and I just kept slipping off and slipping off. I couldn't get a good hold on it, dude. It was just, though the thing is, it was just like so awkward with the wall angle and like how I start off and like how far that first hold was, that I needed a good amount of momentum just to get to that first hold. I wish I took video of the angle that you're jumping from, because it was just awkward. It was just like a really weird move. I don't know, I'm making excuses. It was just I just really wanted it. Okay, so the people that I saw top this boulder had like a more controlled jump to that first hold, and then basically use their upper body strength, like a pull-up, muscle-up type of move to get to the next hold. Soft jump just to make it to that first hold, and then power, bitch, and then just grabbing onto that second hold. I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the arm strength, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. And this is me realizing that I fucked up my hands. And to make it worse, I just kept throwing myself at this, and I eventually got a flapper on my right hand too. So both my hands had to get taped up. It was just like tape all over, which made it even worse because you're not getting friction with that slippery ass tape, you know? So I had both my hands taped, trying to hold on to that final hold where you land the dyno, and it just wasn't happening. But dude, I was determined because I hopped on this like a couple days before it was supposed to get reset. Yeah, I know, my fault. Rushing it too much. I knew I had to get it within this session or the next, or it wasn't going at all. And so I just kept throwing myself at it and throwing myself at it and just not giving like the attempts it deserved, the energy, more passion, more energy, more passion. And sure enough, the inevitable came. Went to shower and came back and it was gone. The heartless barbarians that they fucking are stripped the wall, cleaned it, took away a part of me. There'll always be an empty hole in my heart from not sending this boulder. Route setters are heartless people. Heartless. You took something away from me that I loved, and now I will take something away from you. Route setters have that Thanos mentality. If they got what they wanted, they would snap their finger and half the problems in the world would just disappear. They don't care if it was your project. They don't care if you were this close to sending it. They would snap their fingers and half the world's boulder problems would disappear. And if you're commenting, oh, this is why I climb outdoors, because you can work on a project for years. Well, then explain this. This is what happens when God decides to reset your outdoor project. But yes, I never got it. I never got it. A V6 starting off on the Ballsack hold. And you cannot tell me that big ass yellow hole does not look like a scrotum. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you an actual pair of balls. No, I'm not gonna do that. Though, have you seen those truck nuts? Those balls that hang from the back of a truck? If you haven't, I'm gonna show them now. So trigger warning. If you don't want to see a ball sack or replica ball sack, look away. But yes, look, do they not look similar at least? And even one's hanging lower than the other, just like the truck nuts. Let me see if I can find a yellow one. Dude. I don't know, man. But okay, enough talking about testes. Let's get into the climb. This one was super dope because the overhang was like super steep, that the dynamic movements were like horizontal. So you're leaning back, laying back, laying back. You're leaning back like pretty good to when you jump, you're like jumping backwards and like almost horizontally to hold in. So you're like swinging. You have to get a good grip on that second hold, which wasn't too bad. Use that core strength to swing you back to the wall. And then line up for a second dyno. I don't know what you would call those holds. They're kind of weird. A lot of big moves, and dude, it was a pumpy ass climb for sure. Big move with the right hand. Pull yourself up, and then do sneaking in the toe hook to keep from swinging out from the wall, and then lining up the finish and pop, boom, call it a send. A blind reach around dyno. So this is the start hold. You start there, bump up with the right hand, and then this is it. This is your view. No hold in sight, dude. You're just jumping, spray and pray, reaching out, hoping you fucking nail that thing when you jump out. Okay, and yes, you can line up bolt holds and you can line up some of the lines and structure of the wall, but when you're jumping, you don't know what you're grabbing onto. You're still going into a blind hold. You're still guessing and grabbing. Don't know what you're reaching around to, which makes it fun. Luckily, the hold was pretty good, so you jump out there and then you work your way up the red. Check it out. You know what I'm about to end up looking at? Nothing, just jumping and guessing. But sick, nailed it. And then of course, match it up. Dude, the low back flag move, so underrated. I love it. You just feel good. It just looks good too. Look at it, it's just like, pop. Bump out with the left, up with the right. Dude, locking in the heel hook for security. Big move with the left hand, and then the low back flag again. Dude, what? It's all fun and games though until you slip. And then you're spiraling down. Bump out with the right, move to the left, and then dude, the fucking archer move. What type of move is that? I don't know what you would call it. Whenever you have one hand and you're just pulling yourself with the right, it's not like a Gaston. I call it like the archer move because it looks like you're pulling back a quiver or an arrow or whatever. Dude, that finish, it was like a weird, like kind of like slopey-ish, crimpy type of thing. And so you really had to like secure your weight below it. You weren't powering through that finish hold. You were just like, dude, I hope I don't slip off. Dude, I almost fucking lose it, dude. I thought I was being sneaky with the right toe hook. I would've been so pissed if I swung off. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Dude, I was flying on this climb. Paddle dyno towards the top of the wall. Dude, stakes are high, so much fun. You are flying. Really cool set. Start off with that undercling, then move up to the volume. Tiny crimp, and then, dude, holding on to that star hold with the toe hook is essential because those crimps are like so bad that if you have like any momentum swinging out, you are falling off. Unless you're strong, then you just power through it. Paddle dyno halfway up the wall. A lot of fun, stakes are high. Finishing move, you have to fucking nail it. You are flying, momentum is going. You have to have super grippage. The beginning was not a gimme either. You had to work out some beta. Dude, I'm telling you, those crimps are bad, and then you're trying to launch off like a horrible like volume, which you can't trust volumes to begin with, but trying to use momentum and generate power from a slick ass volume. All you're thinking is your foot slipping out from underneath you, slamming your head into the wall and scraping up your knee when you're trying to jump from that volume. Then the crimps, what you need to guide you is just like, they're so tiny. I exaggerate, but that's what it feels like in your head mentally. But you gotta be quick. Dude, so much fun, dude. So here we go, starting with that big undercling move. Volume, bump up to a horrible crimp, get some feet up, move up to another horrible crimp, and then use that toe hook, and then ever so gently just release that toe and hope you don't fly off the wall. Get a good look and fucking launch. So much fun, dude, that climb. Gnarly, bro. Yes, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out the climbs, watching the entire video if you did, or just skip to the end. Next climbs I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna be doing like some running start climbs, dude, when you're like running straight to the wall. A little sketch, you know what I mean? Because you're running towards the wall. What happens when your foot gives out and you slip on a hold? Bam, right into the fucking wall. Got some bike rides coming up. Got the bro hangs, of course. So subscribe, like, comment, whatever, and see you around.